tiring. It takes a lot of energy. So first, I should do this study with a small number. I might choose only 5% of the people. So if I am going to do this study with 100 people, I take 5 people. I take 5 people and do this study with 5 people to see how results turn out to be. If results are positive, optimistic, fine, satisfying, then I go and do the main study. If the results are not satisfying, if the results are not positive, if the results are not promising, then, well, I might decide not to do the study at all, because why should I do it if I know that the results would not turn out to be fine? This is what we mean by piloting. So in piloting, we in fact do research in a small scale. It's a trial. It enables us. Sometimes you do piloting to revise your study. You make some changes to your study. You pilot it, in fact, to find the problems and to eradicate those problems. And so you can finalize your research. Right? The purpose of piloting is to discover those problems. The probability of doing your research, feasibility of doing your research, usefulness of your research, assess the quality of your data collection. And imagine if you do not do this research, this piloting, if you do not do this piloting, you would be in very serious problems when you do the research itself. That is one thing. Well, another thing is ethics. We should remember that when we do research, we are doing research on people. We have to respect them. We have to observe their rights. We are not dealing with stones. We are not dealing with liquid. We are not dealing with animals. Even animals have to be respected. We are dealing with participants, people. So, I have to observe moral conduct, moral codes of conduct. I have to observe the rights of people. These people might not want their information to be disclosed. So you have to give them assurance that that their information, their personal information, remains confidential. You do not disclose. A few days ago, my PhD student and I required some information from Oxford University. Do you have my voice? Right. We needed some information about IELTS examination. In fact, we needed some 100 sample IELTS texts. And you know, real IELTS texts do not exist in the market. They are private and only used in the organization. They do not disclose them. We went through emails and we asked them for some real IELTS task 2 example. And they, surprisingly accepted our offer. They accepted our request. But then somebody, a man like called Tony, they first gave them to us, and then Tony asked for some WhatsApp friendly chat, and in that chat he asked us to give him assurance that we do not disclose those papers, that we do not use them in other research, that we delete them from our computers. And I and my students will fully guarantee that these texts remain confidential, that we delete them from our computers, and we do not use them on other occasions. It's very important, well, for these people who are very helpful to us, to give them guarantee that the information is going to remain private. This is what we mean by ethics in research. People do not want their names to be mentioned. What should you do? You should not mention the names of those people. You use nicknames, pseudonyms, other names. In your research, you might wish to talk about their intelligence, language proficiency. Okay, fine, talk about language proficiency and intelligence, but you're not going to mention their names. So they have their own rights, and their rights have to be observed. Rights of privacy, rights of confidentiality. In publishing papers, you send the paper to a journal to be published. They ask you a question like, have you also sent this paper to another journal? You have to be truthful. If you submit your paper to a journal, you are not allowed to send it to another journal. This is against. Alright, let me stop by here because, if I get into the other topic, then it takes a long time. What is the question? What is the question? If there is a question, I would be available. The next topic is about data collection. Data collection. Please remember to remind me. Alright? Remember to remind me of the topic for the next session. Data collection. You have the books that I have introduced. Check those chapters to see what chapter describes data collection, and I cover those chapters. I think I used Gass and McKay. Check Gass and McKay. Alright, thank you very much and have a nice evening. Bye.